Okay, so welcome everyone. Atelihai, Tungusugi, Tunguhugi, and Attitude. So, welcome everyone to Makitasiate Virtual Fitness. Today is Friday. I'm going to be losing my voice a little bit, but today's Friday, so today we're going to be doing our legs. So, today's focus is going to be on the inner and outer thigh muscles, so the abductor and adductor muscles. So, essentially, just moving the inner thigh and moving the outer thigh with some resistance, and we're going to get a decent workout out of it. So, before we get into that, I'd just like to say a special thank you to everyone watching on Facebook and Instagram, and of course to Sport Canada and Canadian Heritage for funding the YouTube program, which Makitasiate is a part of. And that basically brings the workout to everybody live. And thank you, Tia, for of course bringing this to their Facebook page, as well as to their social media and to their workspace. It's definitely been great. So we're going to get into this warm-up. If the workout is too difficult, you can maintain doing the warm-up. We always make it in a way that's accessible so that the warm-up is great for beginners or people with rehabilitation. And the cool down is, of course, yoga influence, so really great if you just want to stretch. So without further ado, we're going to get into the warm-up. So the first thing that we're going to do is some side lunges. So side lunges are really great, especially during a warm-up, just to open up the inner thigh muscles, because we're not only stretching them from one side to the other, we're actually getting that push as well coming back up. So essentially starting in a wide leg stance. So something like this. And again, making sure that you're comfortable coming down with one side, and you should feel that leg stretch out as we're going to each side. So just doing 10, 5 on either side. And again, for myself, I like to do this slowly, just getting deep into it, coming up slowly. Just like so. So again, just doing 10 really helps at opening up the adductor muscles and the abductor muscles in the thigh area. So after that, we're going to do another lunge. This is going to be a curtsy lunge. So curtsy lunges are, well, essentially doing a curtsy. So of course, a curtsy would be like that, but we're just going to be putting our right and left leg behind the other, coming down, bottom behind the knee is going to come straight down to the floor, behind the heel, back up, and again, just doing 5 on each side, 10 total. Again, we're really pushing with that inner thigh. Switching sides, and same thing, just doing a curtsy. So bring that high knee to the mat or the floor, and again, just making that push with the hamstring and the abductor muscles, just like so. After that, we're going to get into some hip openers. So hip openers, another standing exercise. We're essentially going to take our leg, we're going to lift it up, knee to the front, in line with the hips, straight out from the hip, opening it and back, opening it and back. So of course, if you want to get some stretching in there, you can use your arm like I am, just pushing with your hand, opening the hip. If you want to add in some extra movement, you can certainly come from behind, open, behind, open, behind and open. Just like that, it moves the hip. Again, great for rehabilitation. Switching sides after 10, and again, just opening up the hips. So really any way that you can rotate and get that hip moving in a circular motion, the better it is going to be as a warm-up, but also in just healing the body. just like so, 10 on each side. Now we're going to move into our final warm-up. So this is going to be a glute bridge, except we're really going to focus on the hips. So getting down onto the mat, I think for the rest of this workout, we're just on the floor. And essentially, kind of getting into like the sit-up position, making sure that our heels are as close to our butt or glutes as we can get them. And again, pushing the hips straight up and back down, back up and back down. So you really want to just lift the pelvis and the hips off of the floor. You don't want to do a full bridge onto your back. You want to just keep it at the abdominal region, just lifting the core off of the mat. So again, just doing this 10 times. And again, if you want to make that more challenging, you can add in some holds once you get up to that extension of the bridge. You can hold that position, tightening everything in. You're going to feel that around the hip hinge, the abdominals, the glutes, hamstrings, and of course, the abduction muscle. So really great stuff. So after that, we're going to get into the workout. So the first thing that we're going to do is some dumbbell. So we're going to be lying on our sides, and we're going to be doing some abduction lifts with the dumbbell. So the first thing that we're going to do is, of course, get a dumbbell or some type of weighted object. What's great about this is that you're going to be holding on to the weight the entire time. So if you have to use some other type of weight, as long as you can hold it, you should be fine for this workout. And essentially, we're lifting one leg up and back down. So I like to keep my arms straight. So essentially the dumbbell is resting just above my knee. And again, 10 times on both sides, just lifting the leg up and down. Just to make it more difficult, I like to do slow movements just to get that negative lift associated with the workout. And again, already I'm starting to feel in the abduction muscles that lift. So of course, switching sides, want to make sure that we're doing everything even. And again, just 10 times on both sides. Dumbbell for myself is just above the knee. Of course, that depends on your leg length and arm length, but ideally just above the knee. And again, you want to make sure that you are lifting the dumbbell with the leg and not with your hand or your arm. There we go. So after that, we're going to do the reverse. So we've done the abduction, now we're going to do the adduction. So that's going in the opposite way. So for myself, as we usually are crossing one leg, lifting over, bringing that dumbbell, again, underneath the leg, and just lifting with the inner thigh. Just like so. And again, always switching sides, making sure that we're getting an even workout throughout the whole session. And again, creating that bridge. So for myself, my left leg is going over my right, still laying on my side, and lifting the dumbbell with the inner thigh muscles. Just like so. So I am starting to feel it in the thigh, which is great. And after that, we're going to move into some resistance band exercises. So we have one. Essentially what you want to do is, if you have a resistance band, is to put it just above the knee. Again, you want to make sure that you're really focusing in on the thigh muscles. And essentially what you want to do is elevate your legs. So lifting them into the sky, and we're going to be performing raised scissor lifts. Just like so. So essentially, you got the resistance band on, it is pretty heavy, and you just want to expand, retract, expand, and retract, and you'll get a great workout just from that resistance band. If you don't have resistance bands, you are welcome to try with the dumbbells, keeping that scissor, keeping a weight on one, and just lifting the top leg, keeping the other leg raised, and then switch. But if you don't feel like doing that, you can certainly just do the scissor kicks without any weights. So into our final exercise, which is sort of like that easier cool down exercise. We're going to get onto the table position. So on all fours, arms straight down from the chest and shoulders. Knees are squared, hips are squared, everything is 90 degrees. And we're going to lift out the leg to the side. And we're going to do 10 forward and 10 backward. And again, doing this each side. And again, it doesn't look like much, but you're certainly going to feel that in the hip and the thigh muscles. And so again, squaring the hips, leg out to the side, and just trying our best to make those circles. And again, going backwards 20 times on each side. Whew. Just like so. So we've gotten through the first set. Ideally, we're just going to try to speed it up as we go. But again, totally go at your own pace. And you find that it's too difficult after you've tried, you can always maintain doing the warm-up. Certainly a good idea. Whew. So hope everyone's doing great. I'm starting to feel this workout. So definitely getting pretty warm in my apartment. I've got my sleepy dog just in the back corner. So great thing, of course, is if you're working out your inner and outer thighs, and you'll probably see me doing this a little bit just in between rest sessions. Great idea is to have that open V and do some stretches just as you're waiting. We usually do about 15 to 30 seconds. And of course the flip, if you wanted to stretch out the outer thigh, is to make that L, putting the heel behind us. Just something to do in between, but otherwise we're going to get right back into the workout. So just like before, we're going to start with our abductor muscles. So starting with the dumbbell just above the knee, trying to keep ourselves on our side as best as possible, and we're just going to lift. And again, really feeling it. Just like so. Of course, switching sides. And just above the knee, if you're having trouble really feeling the weight, you can keep your arms open, or your hands open, sorry, and just grip around the knee as well. And that'll keep the dumbbell in place, as well as ensure that you're lifting the dumbbell with your legs. Just like so. And of course, switching sides, moving into the adduction workout. And again, lifting with that underneath leg. Again, very short movements with this one. And again, switching sides. And always trying to keep that dumbbell just above the knee. Just like so. And then after that, moving into the resistance band. So if you are using resistance bands, I do recommend pulling down your shorts, or if you're like wearing leggings, anything like that, just making sure that the band is actually on the fabric and not just on your skin. That may actually only apply to some people. Like just for myself, I've got somewhat hairy legs. So I do always end up pulling out hair if I'm not too careful. So just making sure that it's on some type of fabric. Again, might not apply to everybody, but if you've got hairy legs, that might be something that you want to look into. Of course, this might be helpful to some people. If you're having trouble doing it on your side, you're more than welcome to actually do it from the front, like so. But from the side, just sort of creates some extra resistance, which is great for the workout. Now we're going to do those side leg circles. So getting into that tabletop position, keeping one leg to the floor, the other one to the side, and again doing 10 forward and 10 back. Switching sides. And again, 10 forward. And 10 back. Just like so. And again, taking that rest. I gotta say that working out the hips or the thighs or the abductor and adductor muscles every time is always quite unique. It's kind of like, you know, working out just calves or working out just forearms. It always feels very intense, but in a good way. One of the things since the start of COVID that I've always been missing. I mean, the gym period, but also just all the little extra machines and gadgets that they have. You know, super helpful when you're doing these workouts. Whew. So, of course, doing the butterfly, great for the inner thighs. Something that you might want to do in between these rests. But otherwise, we're going to get back into this workout. And again, like before, going to start with those abduction leg lifts. So just above the knee, and just lifting with one side and over. If you want to make it more difficult, you can stretch that leg out further to the side, and that'll really change the dynamic of the lift. And make it way more focused on that thigh. So same thing, flipping over. And again, if you want to make it more difficult, bring that leg over to the side. Just like so. And then, of course, you're going to get into the adduction exercise. So lifting with that inner thigh. Just like so. I gotta say, with workouts like these, they're not too aesthetically pleasing, but they are great workouts, especially if you want to get an even set of legs. It's always important to work out everything, but especially those supporting muscles, so all the minors and ligaments attached to the larger muscles, the major muscles, like the hamstring and quadricep. So now we're going to get into the resistance bands again, and same thing, just bringing it up. And again, forewarning, if you've got leg hair and you're not looking for a wax, it's a good idea just to make sure that it's on some type of fabric, but close to the knee, so you can still get that resistance. And we're going to get into those scissor leg lifts. So a couple ways that you could do this is you can keep one on the floor and you could alternate, or you can have them both raised up and have them working simultaneously. Or you can have them from the front and go parallel or horizontal. Just like so. Gotta say that inner and outer thigh is burning on me right now, but that's a good thing in this case. And so, getting back into those leg circles, so something that's a little bit easier near the end, but is still a great workout for the thighs. So, of course, be mindful of your hip, but this is a great way to add in some more balance to your hip structure and strengthen the hinge. And again, doing 10 circles forward, 10 circles back, or 10 clockwise, 10 counterclockwise. Whew. And again, taking that rest. We've got one more set to go, and then we're going to be into our cool down, and then we're done for the week. So so we have done about 58 videos now, of course 3 times a week, so pretty good. If you think about it, that's like 2 months straight of working out, and you know, just for myself, I can definitely speak to feeling and being a lot more fit than I was about, you know, that 2-3 months into COVID that I was at before I came into this job. And yeah, I'm quite impressed with it. But really, that just means that you know, you've got some free time, which I'm assuming that we're going to have for the next year. You got those archives of videos you can go through and you know, get jacked, or you know, bring about whatever body image you want for yourself, or just get strong or rehab, whatever you're looking to do. But definitely have some options now. So I'm going to get back into this workout, and same thing, just getting in with these abductor leg lifts. So just like so, and switching sides. Just like so. And now moving into the adduction dumbbell lift, and just lifting with that inner thigh, trying to bring that dumbbell up as high as we can. And then switching sides. Whew. Again, always trying to make it even, just above the knee, and lifting that one side over. Oh, man, just my dog is so funny all the time. Whew. Okay, so we've gone through those. Time for the resistance band again. So totally throwing them on. I gotta say, it's great what, you know, working out, you know, realistically like 10 minutes a day will do for you. You know, it's great. In a way, you know, there's almost no excuse to not work out, but I've heard some good ones though. I have heard some good ones. So, into the last exercise for today before we get into our yoga-ish influenced. I won't come out and say I'm a yogi, but certainly trying to introduce some yoga wherever I can and educate myself on it. Just like so, gotten through the resistance band. And if at any point you find that any of these are actually too easy, which is certainly a possibility. Um, you can either increase the weight if you can. I know that right now there's a shortage of fitness supplies out there in the world, but certainly some ways you can make each of these difficult, even just by increasing the amount of reps that you do. So instead of doing maybe 10 circles forward, 10 circles back, you would do 20 instead, or 15, might be more reasonable. Whew. So there we go, gotten through the workout. I'm definitely sweating up quite a bit, which is good because that's kind of what you want from a hip focused workout. They're never going to be that intense unless you really push yourself, but just to get a sweat going is really great. It means that you did a great job overall. And now to finish things off, we're going to get into our cool down. So the first thing that I like to do after well, just really any leg workout, but especially when we're doing inner thigh work, is to do the butterfly stretch. So I think technically it's only a butterfly when you do this, but this is sort of what I know it by. But again, you just really want to push down with your elbows on that inner thigh. I can feel that I did some good work today. So just taking it easy on the stretch, easing into it. And when you're breathing and when you're lifting and you're stretching, breathing is extremely important. It does help you not only take your mind off of the exercises that you're doing, but it keeps your body cool, gets air to the blood. I mean, I'm not going to go into the science of breathing. We're all human beings, so we all know, but essentially just, getting through that stretch pain, just taking deep breaths does help you take your mind off of it, staring at a part of the floor, something like that. So this pose is cow face. Trying to get into it a little bit better, of course. Same thing like with the hairy leg problem. Might not be a problem for everybody, but do watch out for what you have going on between your legs. You don't want to cause any damage to yourself, but it is a really great stretch for the outside and inside thigh. So what I've done is this leg was on top, my right leg was on top. Now I've done 10 seconds, switched over, now my left leg is on top. So again, making sure everything is stretched. Now we're going to get into the wide leg stretch. Do need some room here a bit. My dog let out like a stop making noise. I'm trying to sleep sound. And so again, you got your legs wide, and theoretically this is enough of a stretch just to keep the legs in this V. So if you can even just block the legs from sliding forward, or reach down one leg, reach down the other. But either way, opening up those legs. We've got 2 more to go through here, but I'll keep this one relatively quick. And so exactly what you want to do is create an L with your body, and again, putting that heel behind you, up against the hamstring. And again, I wouldn't necessarily call this an easy stretch, at least it's always been somewhat difficult for me to get this L, but it's really great for the quads, but also the inner outer thigh, and for the knee as well. And now into the final one. We're just going to do a simple reach behind or a cross leg stretch. And so what you want to do is, well, for myself, I'm starting with my left. Put that left leg over the right knee or as high as you can get it. Then take your right arm, push against it, and just look behind you. And so again, looking behind you, you can hug that knee in if you can. That'll deepen the stretch. And then just switching sides after 10. Again, just balancing yourself with your hind arm. Whew. And just like so. So of course, if you find that you have any other sort of issues, not issues, but pain or stuff like that sort of associated with the workout, this is a great one as well, which is essentially just to turn your hip forward, position the outside facing up, and doing that on both sides, really great to stretch out the legs. But other than that, we've gotten through today's workout. So great job to everybody. Definitely feeling it, soaked through my shirt. But yeah, so hope everyone has a great weekend. I know that it's Thanksgiving, I think, in the States, so that's something to look forward to if you're in the States. But otherwise, yeah, take care, everybody, and I'll see everybody Monday for an upper body workout. But other than that, enjoy your weekends, everybody, and I hope that this abduction exercise didn't take away from anyone's plans, but I don't think it did. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.